Don't believe in aliens, they're never going to land. Don't believe in cryptids that leave footprints in the sand. Don't believe in spirits appearing from the dead. The only demons out there are living in your head. Dream crusher, the Lord of non-belief. If you can't prove it, no one can get ready for the dreams. For a decade skeptic, we all know what that means. He's lurking in the shadows and crushing on your dreams. Dream crusher, the Lord of non-belief. If you can't prove it, no one can get ready for the dreams. For a decade skeptic, we all know what that means.
Everybody, it's Friday night. Woo! Oh, I'm so pumped. Yeah, especially I think I'm overtired. I think that's what my excitement is today or tonight. Yeah. The last week, right? The last week has been rough. Not like rough as in like life sucks, but rough as in like we've been doing renovating. And I think I've told a bunch of you guys, we've talked about it behind the scenes, but we've the first part of the building, the original part of CFI, it became as new parts have been built on, people have moved up, offices have moved up into the newer sections, bigger sections, and the old section became like the Phantom Zone. Basically, when people had junk and they didn't want to just throw it away, it ended up back there. That's all I'm going to say. So there was like cubicles and piles of stuff. And we have this idea of turning it into a skeptical museum. And we're doing it. A bunch of us here, coworkers, we're getting together and we've been working ourselves to make this happen. So we've been tearing down walls and rewiring stuff and just demolition and lots of heavy lifting. And I've been exhausted, like pass out and exhausted or so tired. You ever get so tired where your body is like telling you don't move, but your mind's awake and you just can't sleep? That's me. That's me. He knows how Eric got trapped in behind the wall. That's right. He's trapped in there. He's in there between the walls. Oh, hello everyone. Hello. It's good to see everyone. There is a whole bunch of people. I'm going to run down a list really quick. Just try to say hi to everyone. We got Rabba. We got We Love TTRPGs. That's Atten. My buddy Atten. Who else we got? We got, that Kenny Biddle guy's in there. Jim Daly, Entity 7, Paranormal, Joe Vitale. That jackass. No, I'm kidding. I love you, man. Kind of. No, I'm kidding. We got Jade Ruckus. Ooh. Do I hear a ruckus? Could you describe the ruckus? I love it. Beardo's in the house. At least he was. I think he was in earlier. Hopefully he's still here. Awesome. Hello. Happy birthday, Beardo. Take that. Chris Slike. Hey, Chris was here. Chris stopped by last weekend. She was able to stop by and got a tour. I hope you enjoyed it. I think you did. And Yeah, we had fun. Her and her husband were here for like I don't know, like an hour and a half, 2 hours or something like that. And we went through the entire building. She got everything. We showed her everything. So we got Dawn of the Dead. Nice. Who else we got? We got there's Beardo. I see Beardo. Mrs. Geek. Oh, Mrs. Geek. We got Beardo and Mrs. Geek. They're married. I know. We got Glenda the Good Witch. Who else we got? We got lots of people. There's so much conversation. I love it. Cat Mac is in the house. Woo, it's date night, Cat. Diana, what's up, Diana? Dr. Jim's in the house. Fantastic Publishing. What's up? Let's see. Steph, Tom, Flock, Steph Rosa. JD Swords in the house. There's so many people. I love this. Dave Schumacher's in the house. Oh my goodness. What's up, Dave? Who else? Eric behind the wall's in the house. Where the hell is he? Is he behind the wall?
He's behind the wall.
We got Bobana. Is that what it is? Bobana, right? I'm saying that right. I think Bobana. I think so. It's the first time I've seen that name, so I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I think Eric Shaver. There he is. Let me out. That's great. Wisdom's in the house. Julie R. And who else? We got Richard. We got a Richard. Just Richard. That's it. He's a one name person. He's like Prince. Or like Cher. We got Dotson 5'10". I'm just making sure I say hi. I don't like missing people. So Shauna is in the house. That's cool. Devon Zipper. All right. Oh, Nana. Nana just popped in. Nana here. All right. Joe Vitale smells of wee. That's what I heard. I mean, I don't know. I heard that from like 3 sources. Me, you, and Seg. Anyway, all right. So tonight we have to do rules. Oh my goodness, Donna is keeping me on track because I'm getting off track here. Let's do the rules. Rule number 1 is that you are welcome to ask questions. It is open mic night. We do have a theme tonight because I felt like ranting about something, and I haven't done that in a while. So hell, yeah, I mean, it's my show, right? I can do whatever I want. All right. Rule number 1, you can ask questions. I encourage that. Rule number 2 is I don't know everything. That's just basic life, right? I don't know where I was going with that. I totally lost it. I thought something was going to pop in there, and I failed myself. So I don't know everything, but we can learn together. I can share screens. We can look it up. I can write it down. I did have notes from last time, but I didn't find them till about 10 minutes ago last week. So yeah, the few things that I did jot down, I forgot where I jotted them down, and it was like in a margin, and I didn't mark it as like do your homework. I usually write homework, and I didn't, so I screwed up. Rule number 3, which is why I'm gonna just keep going and let it ride. Rule number 3 is that we follow the Patrick Swayze rule. Patrick Swayze rule here. Got to slow down a little bit, and that is be nice. Basically, like, you can be in the chat room, you can disagree, you can debate things. That's cool. Hopefully you agree on more than you disagree on. But if you disagree, that's cool. Just don't devolve into name calling. Don't be a dick. That's what it comes down to. Because, we don't want to, heated arguments. We want to have open conversation. That's all. Because if you're not nice, Donna boots your ass. And I think she likes doing that. So just a warning, like her fingers on the trigger, and it's like, oh, somebody getting out of line? Oh. Beep, gone. Forever. Rule number 4. Skipping ahead. Rule number 4 is if you have a question, please do us a favor. Put a capital Q in front of it. That way it's easier for Donna to pick it out in the conversation in the chat room, because there's currently 50 some people in the chat room. So it makes it easier for her to pick them out and save them for later. And rule number 5 is my favorite. Oh, I got a little glitch there. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I did. Rule number 5 is drink up. This cup has seen better days. This was my American Heroes cup I got from the barbecue place. But it's starting to fade. Mm. Oh, that's good. Anyway, all right, back to normal. Actually, let's go. Boing. I love doing that. I love when I get the timing right. Let's put that out there. But I also want to go into my rant. So be prepared. Here we go. So the Estes method, I fucking hate. Oh my God, I said I wasn't going to do that. But just it annoys me so much. And I've talked about it. I wrote an article about it way back when it first came out on that I think it's Netflix or Amazon series Hellier, which was a terrible series in itself, but it really showcased it and people started picking it up. And if you're not aware of it, it's basically the idea is that instead of doing an EVP session, so like when people gather around, boys and girls, we're going to sit and listen to the radio, flip through channels. It's basically what it is. When they sweep the channels on FM or AM, usually everybody listens and people ask questions. They take turns asking questions, and then they listen for something. They listen for something in the context of the question that they asked, and they wait. And if they hear something, a snippet of a station, because you're only getting like a second or less of each station. If you get some kind of word or a part of word that sounds like an answer, then they go with it. And what's really bugs me about like that, even before we get to the Estes method, I hate saying that word. It's usually the conversation never goes the way a conversation is supposed to. Like, let's pretend that we're having a conversation. We just met each other, and I say, "Hey, my name is Kenny. What's your name?"
Hi, my name is Donna.
Okay. Hey, what do you like to do for fun?
I like to produce Kenny's show.
All right. See, now that's the way a conversation is supposed to go. Somebody asks a question, and the other person responds with an answer that answers that question. Except for the most part, when I see these ghost box sessions going on, then somebody asks like, "Hey, what's your favorite color?" And you get chair. And instead of acknowledging that was not an answer to the question, I see most groups go, "Oh, what chair? Are you talking about a chair? Was this your chair?" And the conversation just takes a 180 and goes in a different direction. And that's how the conversation goes. It doesn't flow the way it's supposed to. All right, so push that aside because that's a pain in the ass all by itself. Now we get to this Estes method. One of the dumbest things I think I've ever come across in my life, besides letting a stranger handcuff me to a pole in a basement of a haunted house. That's for you, Dawson. So basically, with this method, they pick one person, they put headphones on, they plug the headphones into the radio that is scanning through the frequencies. So constantly sweeping through all of the stations, and there's different speeds. You can adjust the speed. So one person is listening to it on headphones. Everyone else is out in this circle. I just banged the microphone. And the people on the outside are asking questions. And the person listening to the radio stations go by furiously is spitting out whatever that they can grasp. So I'm not even sure if people are actually understanding what's being said or if it's just sounding like this word or that word. Because again, you're flipping through the channels. You're going through, you're only getting a fraction of a second of what it is. You can get the middle of the sentence without any context. It's very hard to figure out what's being said. And the faster you go, the worse it is. So I have several problems with this. As you might imagine, I have several problems with this. One, I wrote them down too. So I'm going to have to read from my list. One, it relies on the radio. That's a big problem. It's a radio. It's doing what it's designed to do. Receive radio transmissions from radio stations. It's receiving them, whether it's AM or FM, it's receiving them. So you're getting all kinds of broadcasts. You're getting music. You're getting the lyrics from different songs. You're getting, what else are you getting? News, weather, sports,
traffic.
talk radio, traffic. You're getting commercials that can be for anything from furniture to diapers to restaurants to rugs and events. Yeah. So much going on constantly. So you have numbers and names and locations and things, and there's so much potential there. Even if it's like when I know some people say that, like, well, they use AM at night because there's less chance of getting any kind of radio stations, but you're still doing it. You're still using a radio and still picking up radio stations. Whether you get 100 stations or you're getting 10 stations, you're still getting stations. So yeah, it's still a radio, and it's doing what it's supposed to do. Some people tell me that if you speed it up, it's a better chance of getting like a ghost talk or a ghost answering your question. I don't know where the fuck that idea came from, because when you speed up the sweeping, all you're doing is shortening the amount of time it stays on each station, making it harder, more difficult for the person listening to pick out some kind of words they recognize. Now you're creating anomalies. You're actively creating anomalies, and you're not doing science. You're making it worse. That's what you're doing. Another thing is, we went through all the things that you're getting. DJs talking, all this is coming through. So you're getting whatever. I mean, you can literally get any kind of word. You're also getting a portion of a sentence. Here's an experiment you guys can do. Record some TV shows. I don't know why I don't know if I'm getting allergies. Damn, where's that bear? I wonder if that's the bears messing me up again. I came in and I don't know. I feel like my allergies are starting to get to me. Anyway, so if you record a TV show, and the example that I use, because this is what I've seen people use, the show Friends. If you take an episode of Friends, and especially like Chandler, if you take any of his dialogue, record it, take a few sections of it, like full sentences, or maybe like when he goes off on something for a little bit, but chop it up. Cut off the first word, cut off the last word, and play it for people. Just play that. And I guarantee you that people will not understand what's being said, because we get in the habit of recognizing what's going to be said by the first couple of words, and we get an understanding, a context of what we're talking about, so we can follow along. But if people start speaking fast and you have no context about what they're talking about, it's hard to keep up. And if you're only getting parts of it, it's damn near impossible to keep up. So when you're doing that for the radio, you're not getting shit. You're not talking to a ghost. You're getting really bits and pieces of radio stations that, and this goes into my next point, you have two separate tracks. I don't know why people think that they're talking to ghosts. And I just want to put a disclaimer out there too. I'm actively ignoring the chat right now because I don't want to see the comments, because I'm on a roll, and I'm not being mean. I'm just ignoring what anyone said. So if you have comments about what I'm saying, do me a favor, put it in a queue and a question, and we can address it when I'm done on my pedestal. But basically you have two tracks going. You have someone that's listening to a radio station and just calling out whatever that they think they hear. And again, I'm not trying to be mean when I say that, but they can't be sure of what they're hearing. They're trying so hard to pick out some words. And maybe they do get some words right, but maybe they don't. And it gets like words that sound like other words, and they're misinterpreting. So they're putting it out there. And then you have this other track, which is the ghost hunters that are asking questions. They're not attached. There's no causality there. They're both running separate from each other. So if the ghost hunters stop asking questions, you're still going to have this guy or this girl or this person with the headphones on spitting out what they think they hear, regardless. And if they stop, the ghost hunters are still going to be asking questions. There's no back and forth here. There's no two-way communication. It's not there. It's for me, it's a complete waste of time. What else? This is one of the mind fucks here. This relies on alleged ghosts that haven't been proven to exist yet, having some kind of superpower where they can bend space and time to make sure that a pre-recorded commercial or song or track, like news updates, often like traffic and weather updates, are recorded and they're played over and over again throughout like a broadcast, because you're getting these updates and they're going to, like, every 5 minutes you're getting these updates and it's the same one. But the ghost has this superpower where they can line up this pre-recorded stuff with a question asked by a random ghost hunter in a random place at a random time. Like that's a mind-boggling superpower to be able to do that. So, I mean, I've said it before. I've said it a bunch of times on the show and in person. If you want to use a radio, put it in a Faraday bag or a box, a good one, and do like Joe Vitale does and double bag it. Double bag it. That sounds dirty. I don't know why. It just does. Double bag it so that you completely remove the radio signals and see what you get. Because this whole thing about it's ghosts are using the radio signals, you got to show that first. You got to show your work. You can't just make up shit and put it out there and say, well, that's how it's done. No. I mean, I can say, you know, fairies got together with garden gnomes and, you know, they worked their magic and made it happen. It doesn't make sense because I'm making shit up. You have to show your work. I think that's it. I think that's it for now. I'm sure there's going to be questions. I'm seeing some questions pop up. So that's my rant. I kind of went off of that because lately I've been seeing a lot more people come on and like different websites and different like message boards and stuff. Message boards, like, what am I, 1990? In like social media groups, they're coming up and saying, oh yeah, we've had these great experiences, and they provide anecdotes, but they provide no data. They provide no recordings, and even when the recordings are provided, they're shit. I mean, there's so many. I was listening to the guy from Ghost Quest. What's his name? His name is, hold on, because I have it, because I've been writing notes down. Jimmy from Ghost Quest. I watched his documentary, and I was watching him his live the other night, and he was bringing up like really good points that he can't trust it, and I really liked what he was saying. And it kind of switched, and I don't want to go too deep into this because I'm gonna actually hook up with him and we're gonna do a show together. But like there were times where he wasn't sure because it happened when he was doing it, and I see that to be a problem. That's what's that? If Dave Schumacher's in there, that's experimental bias, right? I think that's what that is, when the experimenter is biased in their, and it comes through in their experiments because they want something to go a certain way, and they lean towards any kind of results that might go their way, even though they're not objective results. So yeah, that came up. There was a couple other people that brought it up. There was somebody with the Crow Judas that responded, and I had a conversation. We didn't have an argument. We had a conversation, but some points came up, and I brought all these points up, and he's like, oh yeah, these are all valid points, but these are great stories that I have, and he's using anecdotes as proof, and that's just not how it works. I mean, that's a good story. It's a good place to start, but anecdotes aren't going, that's not hard evidence. And that's not going to work. So, all right, I'm going to take a drink because I'm like way too sober. And let's get to some questions and see what if I pissed anybody off unintentionally. All right, go squat. Hey, there he is. Who punched you in the left eye?
I did.
Yeah.
He gets out of line sometimes.
Stop. No, you know what? This is honestly, I think if do my eyes look puffy, does look.
Yeah.
This one looks puffy. Yeah, it's a combination of allergies and all of the shit that we've been taking down. We've literally knocked down a bunch of walls,
All the
plaster, the drywall, and all the dust in the carpets and
Concrete.
stuff. I mean, we tore through walls. I don't know. I don't think I have pictures that I can. I mean, I have pictures, but I don't know if I can really. If you can get the gist of what I did here.
Probably not.
You can see a little bit here. So that's the office space, and you can see like the framework over there. So there's already 2 offices that were removed, and that one was removed about 10 minutes after this picture was taken. And then there were 3 other offices on the other side, like over on this side, that we took down, plus the electrical and stuff. So all that dust and everything. I mean, last night I was laying down and I had like a paper towel like soaked in water just laying on my eyes because they were so itchy. So yeah, unfortunately that's what happens. And yeah, that does look bad on here. I wonder if it's because it's that's the darker side. I have my key light over here, so it kind of goes away a little bit,
Yeah.
I think, and it gets darker. I'll just have to let's see. I'll do this. I'll put another light on. There you go.
No, you didn't.
Make it go away a little bit so I look normal. She
Here's a
beats me.
question
Give me
that's kind of related.
Okay. Hey, Dawson. What's the deal with the allergy bear? Shauna. Allergy bear.
The bear that's
Oh,
allergies.
so the bear, you see it right there. That's a Boo Bear. And Tuesday night, I like to do a TikTok live. So at like 7 p.m. Eastern time, I come over here and I do a live for about an hour on TikTok. And I do pretty much the same thing I do here. And the moderator that I have suggested that I have a ghost hunting gadget to start off, because on TikTok, it takes a little bit for people to come in. And so if I get something going, if I'm already talking about something, maybe they stick around and check it out. So I picked the Boo Bear, and that's on loan from a friend of mine. And it was like 15 minutes into the show, and I felt my throat get scratchy, my eyes were getting itchy, and I was feeling like that little pressure in your chest from allergies, when you get like a real good allergic reaction. And I couldn't figure out what was going on, and then it hit me. I'm like, shit, I was playing with this a week ago, trying to get it to do certain things, and I had a reaction like this. So I think the friend that owns it has either a dog that sheds or a cat, because cats are the worst with me. And I think it's all over that. So I should have bagged it. I should have put it in a bag and put it like in the corner, but I didn't, because I had a few things. So I had things to do, like punched my head. Oh, if you saw my profile picture, I mean, that was part of the demolition. If you haven't seen that was my profile picture, because I busted my head through the wall. I was a mounted Kenny.
Yeah, no wonder you had crap in your eyes.
Hey, that makes me a trophy husband. But a boom, finally. So there you go. That's the deal with the bear. And yeah, I gotta clean it, or figure out if I can clean it so that I can use. I mean, I've played with it a little bit to see.
Sorry.
Where is your mind?
Who said it?
All right, gutter girl.
Who?
Gutter girl. I know I said
Yeah,
it kind of
you
quick. I
did.
messed it up. Shut up. Yeah, I've tried because it's supposed to like detect temperature and EMF and orientation. Like when you turn it upside down, it's supposed to know that it's doing that. Uh, and something else, vibration. It's supposed to sense vibration, but it hasn't reacted to anything I've done. It's pretty much it just talks every 30 seconds. It asks a question. It'll say like, "Is it getting hot in here?" Which I'm like, every time it says, I'm like, "Take a walk, is it getting hot in here?" What?
Where's your mind at?
I don't know. It's just a song. Anyway, so there you go. That's what's going on with the bear.
Yeah,
All right.
it's just the allergy.
Yeah, it's just allergies. It's kicking my ass.
Eat up.
And yeah, I mean, you rub it, and I try not to rub it and scratch it and stuff, and that's why I had like the paper towel, the damp paper towel on it, so I could just, oh, it just sucks. Sky. I see Sky in the chat. All right, what else we got? We got anything else? All right, Mrs. Geek. Ooh. Why do people even ask questions to ghosts? The most activity I've had is when I'm not expecting it or even asking for it. Haha. Well, I mean, I think that's just routine now. It's routine. It's what is that? Tribal knowledge. So I don't think most ghost hunters know what they're doing. And I'm not trying to be mean. I don't think they really know what they're doing. They are going through the motions. I think there's just a pattern that they see. It's seen on TV, it's seen on videos, and it's just replicated. So why do people even ask questions to ghosts? I don't know, because we don't know if they can hear us or if they exist or if they can talk back. But there's so many ideas with like these radios and tape recorders. I mean, it's amazing how it doesn't matter what the media is, because you went from reel to reel to cassettes to micro cassettes, which are almost basically the same medium. Then you went to digital recorders. You had both tape and digital with video, and you also had audio, the dictation, the dictaphones. I love saying that. And then now you have like these Tascam. I don't know, these expensive audio recorders, and then microphones that we have. I mean, shit. If a ghost really wanted to talk and could, why aren't our airwaves just filled with ghosts talking? There's an open mic right here, right there. Talk. There's one over there. Donna's got one. There's another one. But I mean, so many DJs, all these movies, all these TV shows. You'd think we would have something, not just from the hobbyists. It just doesn't make sense. So, most activity. I think that answered the question. Did it? I think so. I don't know. Basically, I don't know why. I mean, I used to do it, to be honest. I used to ask questions. I did the whole thing where we sat in the dark. So that's silly now. We sat in the dark and we asked questions and we played our recorders back. Like
we didn't have those stupid radio things playing.
No, we didn't. We got out before the scanning the station phase of that, which I'm so happy we did, because I have trouble. I think my rant tonight was because I got frustrated. I got to the point where I was being nice, and then it was time not to be nice, because I'm tired of people giving excuses and not thinking it through. And that's, I think, just to say it flat out. When you're using these methods or these other techniques, think it through. Like, really think it through. Is there logic behind it? Are you just trying it to trying it? Like when people say, oh, can't hurt to try. Oh, yeah, it can't hurt, but it could waste your time. I mean, think it through. Is there any logic behind it that would dictate, hey, you know, this might work? But if you're purposely using like a radio that you already know voices will come through because we produce them. If you already know that that happens and you're still using it, the problem is you, because you're ignoring the fact that it still produces voices from terrestrial people, from living people, and hoping that you can tell the difference, which you can't, between a radio broadcast and maybe a ghost. That's not, no. I don't know how else to say it, but no. Yeah. I think I still have a little bit left in me. It might come out in a little bit. All right. Jade Ruckus. Am I saying that right? Jade, am I saying your last name right? I hope I am. Let's see. Kenny, how do you feel about paranormal equipment sellers saying, probably lying, I'm guessing, you have legitimized their investigations? Saying you have legitimized. Who's saying that? I go, how do you feel about paranormal equipment sellers saying you have legitimized their investigations? I'm not sure. So many issues. Is it me? Are they saying that I'm legitimizing their investigations? Because that's, I mean, if that's what they think, they're a little wrong. They're a lot wrong. they're like a little wrong. They're big. Yes, saying it right. Can you describe the ruckus? Oh, okay, good. So I mean, because I take the things apart and take a look at them and various devices, like like the EMF pump. You're better off just getting a fan. Where's my fan? Oh, this one back here. This puts out more EMF than any of those boxes, the EMF boxes. So, and that was only like, well, I picked that one up at a garage sale or a yard sale, I think, for $1. So yeah, it puts out more EMF in a larger field than those little EMF pumps were. The REM pods, when I took it apart and found the sorry, I don't mean to hit the desk, the Junior Theremin in it, it's a novelty toy. And I mean, those are anomaly generators too. Like a lot of these things using like the Estes method, ghost boxes, REM pods, static detectors, these are all anomaly generators. They are not anything. They're not scientific tools. They are not good tools for collecting data. They don't give you readings that you can record and compare over time. They blink and make noise randomly for different things. So, oh yes, someone who sells equipment who said you were only debunker that's not toxic, and a friend of theirs who says their equipment is good. Hint, down under. Down under. Their equipment is good. I mean, I don't. This is drawing a blank on me because I mean, I'm a friend with some people like Bob Christopher. We're good friends. I've ripped apart a couple of the devices he's made, but we're still friends. He realizes, this is a business. This is my professional thing. But if you can send me like a message and let me know who, I mean, there might be some equipment that I said, oh, that's really cool. Like there's a gadget. Hold on. I think you can see it. I think it's like right there. Is that it? No, let me see. This one. Yeah, I got shorts on today. What dropped? Oh. So this was from a group. Let's see, Deadlight. So I don't promote their other equipment. Oh no, it's okay, Jade. It's all right. I'm just curious. So like this piece was developed. I actually worked with them. They were asking me questions about it, and this measures battery drop, battery drain. So you put, you got 3 batteries on the back. 2 of them, I think, power the device, and one is used to be measured. And on the front, when you turn it on, it gives you a readout so that you can watch if there's any drop in voltage, amperage over time. And I think it's a really cool device because people constantly say, like, hey, you know, like, I go to a place, my battery's drained, it must be a ghost, it must be this. And this is a device that actually will let you test that. You'll be able to go into a location where this experience has allegedly happened and put this up for sale, or not for sale, put it up and say, hey, ghosty, got, you know, free food. Here you go, you know, and watch the display and see if anything happens. Like, that to me is a decent device because it's got the readings on it. You can actually see the numbers over time. You can record it and track it. So I think that's a good device. But when it comes to like detecting ghosts and stuff, like if there's a device that somebody's saying that they can detect or communicate with, no, I would not agree with that, because I mean, the basic idea is that you don't have a ghost, so therefore we don't know the qualities of a ghost. Therefore, we cannot measure for a ghost. And until we get one, different group, I'll send you a message on it. Not trying to cause problems, just got lots of flack from their group for posting a link to your debunk video. Now I'm just curious, but yeah, send me an email. Let's see, I got where is my? There it is. Boom. There's my email. You're welcome to send me an email, and we can discuss it a little bit further. You know, that way you don't have to worry about, you know, someone coming back at you and saying, "Oh, you fucking told on me. You told me. You told him." Yes. Ghosts can barely appear. Never mind trying to use words on a device to talk. It's just bullshit. Apps and devices don't work. So I don't think that's a question. But yeah. I mean, I agree. It's there are so many superpowers. This works. This works like superhero movies, you know, that over a franchise. Let's like say the Marvel universe. And if you're a big nerd like me, you know that Marvel and Star Wars, the rules change depending on the narrative, like, and the plot and the people. Like, the rules will change. The rules of the universe will change. And that's the same with the paranormal. The rules, or what people think that they know about the paranormal, will change depending on the situation and the story that they want to tell, the place that they were at, the device that they're going to use. This always changes. And I mean, the biggest thing is, again, you don't know the qualities of a ghost. Like for instance, this pen, I know the qualities of this pen. I know it has a steel spring in it. I know it's made from plastic, rubber, and steel. I know it has ink in it that can make marks that comes out of a little ball that's on the end. And I know that we can click it, you know, to make the pen tip come out, make it go back in. And it's also got a fancy little clip to go on your shirt. Boop. I know the qualities of this. So if I want to test it, I can. I also know what it's supposed to look like, and I can see it. We can show it. You know, you can see it's a pen. All right. But a ghost, hundreds, if not thousands, of different stories and versions of superpowers that they can do, from talking through radios to walking through walls but not dropping through a floor, being transparent or not transparent, being glowing, not glowing, sounding like they're in an echo chamber but also speaking like they're normal, or coming up to you like a normal person and then vanishing. Some can turn evil, some make faces, some give off a smell. There's so many different things, and it doesn't apply to everyone. So yeah, I mean, you can't have a device that's going to detect or measure something if you have no idea what that something is. It's lawn darts all the way. Damn it, Bob! He showed up. Awesome. Of course I have company tonight. I almost missed the greatest shirt of all time. That's right. This is all you, man. This is all you. I love wearing this. I love wearing it out. Like, it's great when I wear this shirt to the show
Right.
because most everyone gets it, or they start to get it as they listen to the show, because I'm like, damn it, Bob. But wearing it out on the street, just out, and everyone's like, dude, what did Bob do to you? Like, what's wrong with Bob? You know, or the occasional, like, I'm Bob, what's wrong? I'm like, shit. Go on. All right. Moving on. We're doing good. 45 minutes in, 46 minutes in. Redman, why do people think rules apply to something that they have yet to prove exists, such as the difference between ghosts and spirits? Yeah. So, yeah, I hear that used interchangeably. People will say ghosts and spirits and use them as if they mean everything. And then other people, let me make sure, because I'm usually, I think the definition difference is mostly like spirits are more spiritual. In folklore, a ghost is a spirit of a dead person or animal that can appear to living, while spirit can refer to the animating force within living things. What? So more like a soul train.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I usually attribute like the term spirit more to the religious or spiritual side. Or like when people refer to angels, they're like, oh, or demons or spirits that were never, people. So therefore they can't be ghosts, because ghosts are only the spirits of the dead and stuff like that. But yeah, I think rules apply to something. Again, like the rules are just all over the place. There are no set rules. And I love, and I use that term loosely. I love when I see like a random generic ghost hunter NPC up on a stage and confidently saying, we know, and then followed by a whole bunch of things about ghosts. Like, we know for a fact. And I've actually heard people say that. We know for a fact that ghosts can do this and that can do that. And I'm like, from where? Like, where did this come from? I'm dumbfounded, because of like, where did you get this information? Like, your belief does not make it fact. And unfortunately, that's the way it usually goes. So, I'm with you there, Redman. All right. What else we got? Kenny, I would just like to thank you for replying to my email. I will be definitely subscribing to Skeptical Inquirer. Much love to you and Donna. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And there is somebody, I don't know if they're in the chat tonight, but Tina JT, if you're in the chat, I did have your email. I am in the process of responding to it. I'm going through it. It takes me a little bit, but she was in last week, and she told me about something like an experience with a doorknob, like a basement doorknob, and happened with her. But she was able to send me like a very detailed explanation about the experience. So I looked it over, and it's one of those that I have to sit here and just go, all right, let me go line by line. Let me see what was said. Let me see how that translates to like my perspective, and then I'll have questions and stuff like that. So if you're in the chat room, or if you're listening, or if you're watching this tomorrow, I'm going to get back to you. Don't worry. I didn't forget about you. All right. That's good. What else we got? Dun, dun. Julie R. Can you get K2 spikes in, say, a forest or field with no electric lines around? So K2 meters are single axis electromagnetic field meters, and they go off the electromagnetic field. I mean, they measure the strength of the field. So they don't give you frequency, because that's something, and I'm not saying you're doing this, but a lot of groups mistake that. They confuse that. They think it's reading frequency, and it's not. It's reading the strength of that frequency. And if you're in the woods, It depends on what's around you, because radio frequencies, RF, will set those off. So if there's a tower around that's close by, it might make that happen. Your phone could make that happen. Depending on how close you get with electrical devices that are on your person, that might make it happen. So it it also is the way it's made too. I have found that if you move them quickly, they will light up. So if you have it like this and you go like that, it could make it light up. So that's something to be aware of. With those things, I usually don't. What do I do? I usually don't try to hold them. I try to put them down in one place and just let it go. And I really don't use them at all, because they're single axis and it's only reading one axis at a time. So you're missing the other two potential readings. So I don't use them. And if you're in the woods, I don't know. I guess maybe look at a satellite view, or look at Google Earth and see what's around you that might create some kind of radio frequencies. Or maybe, I don't know how far. I mean, for me, I know that I can usually make one go off between like 15 and 20 feet away from outside, if I'm outside. So if someone's using a radio, two-way radio, and they're about 15 to 20 feet away, no matter where, like a radius, it can make it go off. But other than that, I don't know. And that I'm actually going to put it back onto you a little bit and say that's where the investigator part comes in. So if you are getting a reading, then you should track it. You should track it and see where that's coming from. See if you can find a source. Too many times, and again, I'm not saying you're doing this, but too many times I see people get a reading and they stop and it flickers or it goes away and that's it. It's never thought about again. Or if they do get it, and you usually see this on TV where they're like, oh, look, we're getting a spike. And they go off for about 10 seconds or 20 seconds back and forth. And then they kind of move on to something else. I would say definitely go and try to figure out where it's coming from, and try to track it down. Get yourself a better meter, because the K2 is pretty much, I mean, that's only like a small step up from the cell sensor. So I would, if you're interested, then get a better meter and then see if you can track where it's coming from, track down the source. But good question. I like that. Vanessa Cathcart. Vanessa Cathcart. That's I like that. That's like it's like a TV show opening, like a spy thriller. Like, and now we have Vanessa Cathcart. I like that. Where did the Warrens get the idea to make up a haunted doll? So that story has become a little bit more interesting of late. There is a woman named, I think her name is Stevie. She goes by Stevie, and she is a very knowledgeable person in the Warrens. Very, very knowledgeable. Has uncovered a lot of shit about them. But she has been in contact with someone that, this is how I'm going to say it, because I'm not sure. I haven't talked to her yet personally, and I'm it's on my list. But she is in contact with someone that claims to be one of the nurses that had the doll. And originally, I thought these nurses did not exist. I'm still not convinced totally yet, because it sounds like one of them reached out or somehow they got connected, and this person is claiming to be that nurse. So I would like to know a little bit more information. I can't just accept it at face value, because it might be somebody that's just trying to jump on the the bandwagon. I can't horror Jade Kitten. I don't know. I hope that's not here. So yeah, I so with the doll though, I mean, it's weird. I've said this a few times, and I've brought out the book where it actually says like Ed wrote well, Ed didn't write because he didn't write shit for himself. He hired someone, a professional horror writer, to write his books. But in the book, he is quoted as saying the doll is not possessed. It was just like a toy that the demon was using, just like any other toy. So it wasn't possessed. So there's no reason to think that this doll is possessed by any demon, or that, this all-powerful demon can't just break out of this little tiny glass case. It's so silly, man. It makes me laugh with this glass. It doesn't even have bones. It's a Raggedy Ann doll. Why is it a Raggedy Ann doll? Because it's filled with rags. There's no muscle. There's no tendons. There's no bones. Hey, my phone went off. There's nothing in there. So, I mean, honestly, by that logic, yeah, it probably can't get through the glass. But, like it teleported all over the place. And, the story's saying it moved all over the apartment, but it can't get through a eighth of an inch pane of glass. I mean, come on. That's a lame ass story. It's horrible. It's really, really horrible. But put it in context, this was 1970s, 80s, like you could get away with stupid shit like that because it was so much harder to research it. It was so much harder to look into things. And there wasn't the plethora of information that we have now about it. So you could spread a story like that. And if you had a big, bold, and aggressive attitude like Ed had, you got on the news. You got the newspapers to pay attention to you. So, I mean, if anything, he knew how to bully his way into getting attention. I still think he exploited people, and I think he was a horrible person, but, that's my personal opinion.
I think we should do a break.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Donna says so, and she's a producer, so even though my name's on first, even though my name is like right there, it's first. See, it's first. Kenny Biddle and Divine Donna. But all right, we'll take a break early, and then we'll come back with some of your questions because I see we do have a bunch more. And let's see. Let me key up the. Where's the video? There's the video. We can listen to the awesome music, songs. Is it really vain that I love these songs that are about me? I can't appreciate them anymore because they just make me smile. Like I don't want to go pee because I want to listen. All right, everyone. We'll see you in about 4 minutes and 9 seconds from now.
And now for something completely different.
Welcome, my fellow skeptics. Welcome, one and all. I am the chief investigator. Oh, come along, old chap. We will have a ball. Now, if you will excuse me, it's time to open the mic. Good night. Good night. Kenny Biddle's the name, investigating's my game, and I will have at it. Quid pro quo. As the head of this committee, hunting for ghosts can be shitty, but there is nothing better that I know. I am a skeptic through and through. I question everything, don't you? Let's open the bar and have some questions, alright? Maybe you might find an answer or two. I will find the truth this night and day, and if my name is not Kenny Biddle, then I assure you here I will not stay. Good day! Kenny Biddle's the name, ghost hunting's the game. I won't let anything get in my way. Too many fakers out there, too many chefs, too many toe tappers, none of it makes any sense. I am answer or two. Who knows? There may be ghosts in the machine, but trust me, I am not so keen. I prefer to see these things clearly, not in 144 key. I am a skeptic through and through. I question everything, don't you? If you don't think I am right, let's open mic night. Yeah, yeah. I am a skeptic through and through. I question everything, don't you? If you don't think I am right, let's open mic night. Yeah. If you have an answer or two, let Kenny Biddle solve it for you. Let Kenny Biddle solve it for you. The one and only Kenny Biddle. Kenny Biddle. Kenny Biddle. Kenny
Yeah,
All right, I'm good. What's up, everybody? We're back. Yay.
we hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the song? I did. Sit here, I sing, I dance.
Dancing down the hallway.
I want to like do a karaoke to my own song. So much fun. All right. All right. Okay. That's.
Stop rubbing your eye.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's getting itchy. All right. Dr. Jim, but Kenny, don't those expensive red glasses make the Estes work better? Oh my goodness. Red glasses. Oh, you mean so do you mean like the ones that are used for the what's that called? The Gansfeld test? Because I know, yes, the one part that I didn't mention is that the center that has the headphones on is also blindfolded. That's what I've seen for the most part. I think some do use some use ping pong balls and they put like a red light over it, so it kind of mimics the Gansfeld test. But no, I don't see any difference. I mean, I've only done it where you're blindfolded, so and that was an experience because that was. I mean, I was in the room with Joe Vitelli, Dawson Toller, Side Eye Guy, Dawn, and I think that was it. Oh no, oh fuck, I feel embarrassed. I forget his name. The other guy. The other guy who was really, really cool guy that I met well, I actually met everyone for the first time. Everyone I met that night was for the first time. And I still let them handcuff me to the pole. And blindfold me. That's it, Josh. Thank you, Dawson, Paranormal Seekers. Josh, yeah, he was a real nice guy. I like him. But yeah, so yeah, I don't think those red glasses do anything. I mean, it gives you something to look at. That's about it. Doesn't do anything else though. Because I think everyone, like when you compare the both, like the Gansfeld test, as I understand it, people are trying to go into almost like a sensory deprivation state where, you know, they're staring at this light and they have white noise coming through the headphones. They're trying to not pay attention to things. Shut up, Dawson. They're trying not to pay attention to things and kind of like let their mind wander. Whereas during this Estes bullshit, the person is actively concentrating on trying to figure out what is being said, and on a changing environment. I mean, that's horrible. No context, a completely changing environment that's speeding through. It's ridiculous. I was so angry when I got out of that. When thankfully, like, Dawson taps me on the shoulder, because again I'm blindfolded and I feel a tap, and I'm like look like an idiot, but he turns it off. I'm like, I don't know how many F-bombs I dropped, but it was just like this. That's so annoying. I just wanted to punch someone, just to punch somebody, because it was just so frustrating. I don't know how you ghost hunters do this all the time. It would drive me crazy. I'd be like a ghost hunting serial killer. I would make some ghosts. Anyway, all right, moving on. I hope everyone's enjoying the show. I hope everyone's enjoying the conversation and the whatever I'm doing. I don't even know what do you call what I do? It's not really a conversation, but it's a Q&A. Like Donna's like got a deer in headlights look, like you put me on the spot. I don't know. Move on. Do something else. Here's a question. Just answer the question. Steph, what do you think of using Polaroid instant cameras for investigating, taking multiple pics in a row, like with a digital camera? So I have a deep love for Polaroid. I have tons of them up on my shelf. I have a lot. I have tons of Polaroid cameras, and I really love the medium. I love how they look. I love the look of old photos. But there are problems. I mean, we're talking about the Polaroid cameras that I'm sure you're talking about. The instant cameras are the ones that they have chemicals within. They have a chemical pack in the bottom, which when it spits it out, there's two rollers, and they squeeze that pack. They burst that pack and spread the chemicals throughout the film so that it develops. If there's problems with developing, if one of the rollers gets stuck, if there's something on one of the rollers and it presses harder than the other points of it, it can do damage. If people take it out and put their thumbprint on it and squeeze the actual image area and don't hold it by the tip, you can have problems there. But aside from that, it's still pretty much the same, almost the same. I mean, you have better resolution, you have better clarity, you have better contrast, you have better almost everything when you use a digital camera. Modern digital cameras. That's what I'm going to go with. Not like your first like Mavica stuff, because that was shit. I have those too. I have the first Mavicas that were released, and yeah, they're shit. But I don't see too much of a difference. I don't know what you're looking for, like what your intent is here, because it'll show you within a small range. I mean, also with digital cameras, the digital sensor can see more of the infrared and UV, so you're getting more of the light spectrum in your picture. They do have a cut filter in it to block out most of it, but you're getting a wider range than your film. So you might get less detail, little bit less light. But I don't, again, without knowing what your intention is with this question, I'm not sure. Like in general, I mean, it's going to be more expensive because it's like 20, I think an 8-pack is like $20 or $25. Last time I bought film, new film, it was like $25 for an 8 shots. So you can imagine, like, I don't do that often because it's still like I think 35 millimeter. I can get 32 pictures. I think it's a 32 roll. I can get like 3 rolls of that for like $40, you know. So like 100 pictures versus 20 pictures for almost the same price. Like I only use Polaroid once in a while when like an investigation calls for it, or I'm feeling artsy, then I'll get a pack, and or if I get expired film, I'll try it.
Mhm.
But yeah, so there's really no, oh, Kenny, I was wondering if you saw, shadow or wispy image, would you trust it? I think I would, there wouldn't be a difference in how I approach it. There really wouldn't. No, that's wrong. I would approach it in the same way I approach any other photograph. I would look at camera model, make, model, film, sensor, all this stuff. I would go into my normal routine. So I would treat it just like any other photo. If there's a shadow or a wispy image, I would look at how does it look? How does it appear? Some of them are like the wispy image. The wispy stuff is usually out of focus and brighter than everything else, and that usually tells me that it's closer to the camera, and it's usually cigarette smoke or like frosty breath or something like that. So I would approach it almost the same way, with just a little bit tweaking because it's film rather than digital. So there you go. Thank you for the clarification. I appreciate that. Ooh, I had the burp. I hate when it sneaks up on you, like there's no warning. Cat Mac, if we were living in the Matrix and you could download one thing into your brain and have all the knowledge about it, what would you want to download and master?
Good question.
All the world's knowledge. See what I did there?
Yeah.
That's a workaround. That's a
gonna
workaround.
work.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
hey, I made it work. I worked the system. I beat the system. That's what I'm going for. But if I'm going to play by the rules, Donna's over here. Let me see. One thing in my brain, all the knowledge about. That's that's difficult because there's so much. I mean, you sent my brain into a spiral here, because like my motto, never stop learning, is like something I live by. That's not just a saying or a catchphrase or a quote. That's my way of life now, and I go into so many different directions every day. Whatever I'm investigating or looking up takes me in different directions. I'm never learning the same thing twice. And it's wonderful. I think it's beautiful. And I find every pathway of knowledge fascinating, no matter how mundane. And I think like some of the YouTube videos that I watch, like it ranges from how does like Pluto or Saturn, how does the rings of Saturn stay in place? I'll watch that. And then I'll go to something like how flea market flips. I love that. Froggy flips. Oh my God. If you ever see that, I love that guy. I hope to meet him one day, but I'll watch that. But no, I mean, like learning, like what did we watch last night? We were watching like how Kit Kats are made.
Yeah.
I was fascinated. And then I stayed on that channel because I wanted to see like how other candy bars are made. How gummy bears. That's how it started. Gummy bears. I'm like, I don't know how gummy bears are made. I don't know. How did they get the bear shape? Let me see. And I was fascinated. And you know what? Not what I expected. Not anywhere what I expected. So I cannot answer this question. I can't. Just pick something you don't want to spend time learning, like how to fold fitted sheets. That's witchcraft. Oh my God.
Something that you wouldn't have to research, you would just automatically know it.
I would just automatically know it.
Yeah, like know everything about it.
I don't know. There's so much to learn.
Like
There's so much to
physics.
know. Physics? No, because it's incomplete. Like there's so much. I would
you
love.
want to learn how to understand it, like something like that.
I don't think physicists understand it. But you know what? Like that would probably be. I don't know. It's such a. It's
killing us.
It's killing me. It's a philosophical question with heavy weights. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't want to say physics. I think a lot of people would say physics. I just history. I think just world history. I think that because I do have trouble with world history, just different events and stuff like that throughout history. I constantly have to look them up because I think we're in the society that we're in. We don't have to memorize things anymore like we used to. Growing up in school, we had to memorize facts. We had to know dates and stuff like that for wars and elections and all kinds of things with history. And now it's like, all right, when I need it, it's there. I can look it up. So to have some like a good concept of world history, or you know what? No, I'll change my answer. Folklore. I like folklore, especially like once in a while I talk to like Ben Rafford, and then recently I've been talking to Daniel Reed, and we've been getting into conversations about folklore. And I would love to have like a really vast knowledge of folklore, because that not only does it deal with history, but it's also a fascinating alternative look, you know, and through a strange anecdotal perspective. I'm drained. I feel tired. Oh my goodness. You should have seen. No, we're not. Stop doing that. No. We're 2.5 hours now.
You're doing it.
You should see like the one time Aaron was here, and he came up here not too long ago for a weekend, but he had to come up on Saturday, so he wasn't able to do the show. But we had a great night. He went to get fossils, like he went to Penn-Dixie, right? Penn-Dixie is the place, yeah. And dug for all kinds of fossils, found a whole bunch of stuff, came back to the house. We went to the Chinese buffet, and we both love Chinese buffets. I love Chinese buffet. I will do a Chinese buffet every night of the week if I could. We don't do it. It's expensive, but I like it more than Donna does. A lot more. But Aaron was totally into it, and we went. We had a great time. We stuffed ourselves, and then we got back to the house, and we're kind of chilling, having a couple drinks, watching TV. I think we were watching a movie, and we started down this path of philosophical questions like this, just like what Kat asked. Yeah. Like, if you could only have one superpower, what would it be and why? And it wasn't, you couldn't just pick one. You had to give a reason, and it couldn't just be a bullshit reason. You had to really have a good reason. And then we talked about ethics with that power. And what, I mean, we went deep. It was good. I like it, but you know, I had more than a 2-hour show to explain myself. Jade causing a ruckus. That is your new nickname. How does anyone know what anything is when science can't even agree on what consciousness is? So there's a difference. There's a big difference. Consciousness is a separate thing. So we can't. This is like a you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater kind of idea. So science, there's various fields of science, various branches and subdivisions of science. So we have medical, we have biology, we have space science, we have chemistry, we have there's tons of sciences out there that all have their own different ideas, terminology, but they can come together. They have common methodology. They might branch off and do extra steps or not every step, but it's all pretty much the same with caveats. But we can't say something like, how do we know anything if science can't agree on one specific thing? So that's kind of like saying, like, well, if we don't know what causes black holes. How do we know anything? We can't make that general determination. Consciousness is something that's so complex that we're looking into it. We're studying it. I see like I'm in there with my lab coat. Science is studying it, and they're getting closer and closer. But the thing is, we don't know how big it is, how complex it is. So we really don't know how close we are, but we're understanding more and more every day. But there's other sciences where we know a lot. Physics, just brought it up. We know a lot about physics. We know a lot about astronomy. We know a lot about astrophysics. We know a lot about biology and chemistry, archaeology, anthropology. We know a lot about all of these fields of science. So we can celebrate that. We can understand that we know a lot. And with all that, even if we don't know what consciousness is, that doesn't mean that we should accept paranormal experiences as real. We should still study them just as we study everything else. So I don't know if that's where you were going with this, but I like sure all their commenting like, oh my God, I live to be a problem child. Sorry, not sorry. That's cool. Jade, I want to cause a ruckus. But yeah, I mean, science is ever evolving. It is a self-correcting tool. So usually when science is wrong, it's scientists that figure out that they were wrong. So it's science that's correcting itself. So it's a beautiful tool. It's a very beautiful, and it's the best tool that we have to figure out what's going on in the entire universe, and everything that's in that universe. So if we don't know what something is, one thing is, that doesn't mean we are extremely or as lacking in another area. So I mean, just think about what we're doing right now. Think about how do we know each other, Jade? How do we know each other? We know each other because of the science behind this. Live streaming, internet, electricity, zeros, ones, all this information going back and forth, Ethernet, like computers, motherboards, memory, everything that goes into this, microphones, audio, video, everything that goes into this, so that on Friday night or Saturday morning, depending on where you are, we can hang out. All of us. We can hang out. We can have a date night if it's cat. We can all have a night where we hang out because of science, because we have a really good understanding of how this works and how we can communicate. So this is a long-winded way of answering your question, but I guess the short answer would be, even if we don't know a lot about one subject, it doesn't mean we don't know a lot about other subjects. So keep studying, keep learning, keep being curious, and keep asking questions. So there you go. I think it was good. That was almost like the ending of a show. Not that we're ending the show. All right. That was good, though. Good. I like that, Jade. Very good. All right. What else we got? Steph Rosa. Steph Rosa. Steph Rosa. Steph Rosa. There is no evidence for the existence of a soul, of the soul. With that in mind, how could ghosts exist? Thoughts? Or is it likely to get you run out of town? Luckily, my town is good. I mean, my town hired me, so they hired me to do what I do. So I'm pretty safe. So no worries there. And so the no evidence for the existence of a soul is interesting, that it's tied here with ghosts existing, because they are, at least from my perspective, they are different concepts. Like when I talk about, or when I envision the soul, or when we're talking about a soul, and the idea, the concept of it is more on the spiritual side, more on the religious side to me. Like growing up, I was raised Catholic. So the soul was, your religious side, your godly side, that, that's what was going to be judged. It wasn't like you were a ghost. it was your soul. So your soul was your ghost, but it wasn't called ghost. Unless you were holy and there was only one of those, that was only 1/3 of like a big thing. It's very complicated. But I always separated these. So like the soul for me was like a religious version of a ghost. But if there's no soul, like I don't know what's inside of us. I don't know what's mysterious force or thing, or I was totally fear-mongering there by calling it mysterious force. I shouldn't have done that. Whatever we are, I don't know what it is. And I don't know if it ceases when we die. I have no idea. And I've mentioned this a couple times. Like I think about this a lot now because I'm on the back end of what is life, lifespan. So, I'm closer to death than I am to my birth. So I'm looking at that and thinking like what's going to happen. And maybe that's my urgency of wanting to do so much because I'm like, I got to get so much in. I don't have the time. I'm sorry. I cannot die for another 67 years. I just don't have the time for it. It's not in my schedule. So I don't know where I was going with that. Basically, I don't think the two. Well, I don't know. I just talk myself out of that. Like I don't think the two are the same, but I kind of talk myself into saying that they are the same. They're just different versions of the same thing. Yeah. So yeah, there's no evidence of either. So either a soul or a ghost. I haven't seen any, and not that I'm the authority, but I haven't seen any convincing evidence that ghosts exist. I see a lot of mistakes. I see a lot of misinterpretations. I see a lot of belief that is forced into fact or the fact kind of terminology. But I haven't seen hard evidence that says, yes, there is something way beyond what we know going on here. There's just not. I mean, I still look, but I haven't seen it. So to answer your question, I don't know. That in mind, how could ghosts exist? I don't know. I don't think they could. Why would you want to hang out here? I mean, I love everyone. Don't get me wrong, but if I die, when I die, if like I'm very positive thinking here.
Yeah.
If I die, when I get around to it, do I want to hang out here?
Oh,
Like I've just spent, I don't know, 90 to 100 years. I'm gonna give myself on this planet. That's pretty good. I want to see what else is out there. If I have the ability, I'm gone. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna check out Mars. I want to see the face. That's not there. I'm gonna see the face on Mars that's not there and be like, oh. All right, moving on. Go see the rings of Saturn. Let's go see if we can find it. I'm gonna go find the Tesla that's floating out there. Maybe get in front of the webcam. Be like, woo. All right, moving on. Eddie R. Kenny, what do you think about Pascal's wager? I always have trouble saying that. So this is a philosophical question, and I believe. Let me. I have it looked up here. So it's an argument. Let me see. I want to make sure that I get it right because I had my idea. Let's see. This argument posits that individuals essentially engage in life-defining gamble regarding the belief in the existence of God. So basically, it's like, hey, just in case, let's believe anyway. Just in case, what's the harm? And this is a much more complicated question, I think, than maybe you realize. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what your intention is behind this question. But I have so many problems with religion. I have so many problems with people that follow religion so strictly that there is a lot of harm in just believing, in just believing for the sake of believing, just in case. It's not the way I run my life. I don't do things just in case. If I lived like that, I think if we all lived like that, nobody would do anything. You would have no extreme sports. You would have nobody going out going on adventures because, just in case you fall off a mountain, just in case you get into a car accident, just in case this and that. There's so much in there. I mean, this usually is attributed only to the belief in God, but I mean, it's so much further. So I'm not going to run my life just in case there is this one, mind you, one, not the thousands that are in history, but one God that's out there that has his own rule book. And I'm not going to live by that just in case. I mean, fuck. I mean, the people that are extremists that follow, that say we have to do God's word, we have to live by the Bible. Don't fucking live by the Bible. They don't even do the shit that's written in there. And so many of them you see when you quote the Bible, they have no idea that you're quoting from the Bible, which is pathetic. And that's not everybody. I don't want to, I'm making a general sweeping statement there, but that's many that I have come across just follow that kind of mentality, and I don't like it. So no, I will not. If it exists, and I say it because the word God is kind of neutral. It's not, everybody says he, but I don't know. Maybe it is a she. Maybe that would piss off that. What if for a millennia, like, somebody would be telling you, like, calling you him or he, and you're like, yo, fuckers. That's not it. Hello. And I mean, really, like, is it a he? Anybody seen underneath the robe? What's not that I want to. It's gotta be huge. Oh my goodness. No, I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to live just in case. I think it's, honestly, I think it's silly, because there's so many other things you can live according to just in case, and it's just, it doesn't, it would restrict your life. Life would be funless. It would be without funless. It would be without fun because you would be too worried. So no, thank you. I'm good. Damn it, Bob. For Donna, this is from Redman. Does Kenny dance to or sing his song in the shower? Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
I totally do. I totally do.
His own crap.
I totally do. I will be in the shower. Please don't get a visual because it's not pretty. But I will be in there going, if you think I am not right, let's open my night. Throw it a robot. Hey, diddle diddle.
Okay, you can't sing. Let's not go there.
Here's a little riddle. Who's the best bunker? Is it Kenny Biddle? And I start jamming. Like, yeah. No. I love this song. I can't. I mean, the people that did them, fantastic publishing, wisdom. Oh my god! And then there was it played at the break. I forget the who did the second one, and that makes me feel bad. But yeah, I love them. I love them. They're just, and not like, I feel in the beginning I felt weird saying my own name because it was like, all right, that's me. I know who I am, but it fits with the song so good that I just sing it, and yeah, and they're like, hey, diddle diddle. Gets me in the morning, I am a skeptic through and through. I question everything, don't you? Any chance we can get some more videos or live streams from you? Friday night is not enough. I need more biddle. Thanks, Rob. So, well,
It's crazy enough.
well, I mean, I have been trying to stick to a schedule where I do TikTok. So if you go on TikTok, if you just look up Kenny Biddle, I think Kenny Biddle 42, that's my name on there. Tuesday nights, I do 7:00 p.m. Eastern time. I do a live. So I'm on there doing pretty much this. As for other videos, I try to do a Ghost in the Machine series that I do for CFI for their YouTube channel, but it goes back and forth. And unfortunately, lately I've been hammered with so many projects. Last week, it was last week, right? The board was here.
Yeah.
We had the board of directors here, so there was a lot of preparation because part of my presentation I had to present to the board. I had to give a quarterly report. Actually, for that, it's like a yearly report to them, and just pretty much saying, "Yeah, I'm doing my job. Here's what I'm doing. You know, I'm working my ass off." And part of that was the renovations that we've been doing down there, and I was scheduled to do a tour, which I did with the board, showing them everything. So there was a lot of push to get that done. So I haven't been able to do a lot of other things, which is like making videos, and the videos that I do, because they're not reaction videos, they're more involved and it takes a lot more planning. So I do have several that are in the works. I have a more, you could say, more of a fun one where I went to the oh my gosh, what's the name of the monster? Grafton Monster Festival. When I went with Daniel Reed a few weeks ago. So I took video of like the vendors and I interviewed like the organizers and then some of the vendors and then Daniel Reed at the end. And that is going to come out once his article, because he wrote an article about the Grafton Monster. And when that's published, then my video will be published, because there's a cool surprise that you'll want to read about. And I definitely want you to read about it in the article first, because Daniel discovered something really, really cool. That's all I'm going to say. And, but there's other videos that I've been working on. Like you see this board over here. So any blue, I don't know if you can actually see that. Any blue marker, which is like 4 of them, are videos that I want to make, or that are in various stages of completion, because I filmed part of it and then I would get distracted and get onto another project, and you know, so and so. So I have to get back to them. So once this is, I think that we had a big push with the renovations, because we're having a whole bunch of staff are coming in about 2 weeks, and we're also having our skeptic camp here, which is like what's July 19th, 20 and 21st, I think. So if you're in the Buffalo area, we're having a free event, a free like weekend where it's like hang out Friday night. Saturday is all free lectures that are here at the center. And then Sunday is more of a hangout down, like a social hangout down at the canal side riverfront. But yeah, that's the Friday, the July 19th, 21st. So I've been planning for that because I'm speaking, giving a tour, and I'm also helping schedule things. So it's been crazy. It's been crazy. I do have an article. Well, if you're going to subscribe to Skeptical Inquirer, I have an article in the last one, and then I have another one in the next one, the next issue that's coming out. It's about about a potential hoax involving John Wayne Gacy. It's not what you think. It's totally different, but it's actually pretty cool. So there you go. Woo. Dun, dun, dun. What else we got? Among the Unknown. Ooh, I like that. It's like a mysterious name. Who are you? I am Among the Unknown. I like that. Donna's like, we got 20 minutes. Come on, just get to the question. Oh my goodness. Come on, woman. All right, let's see. Have you been seeing this whole TikTok trend that's happening right now about ghost hunting in Teslas and how the sensors are supposedly mapping out ghosts? Kind of like some SLS camera type of thing. I've seen it. It's been happening for quite a while, for like over a year. It's been happening, and it's just ridiculous. Because this, as far as I know, and I have to talk. I don't know if he did it yet, but I know Jason Hawes, and you guys that watch, you know, we're pretty good friends. I know he was able to get into his friend's Tesla, and they went driving through a cemetery, and they recorded some of it. I don't know the results. I don't know what happened, but I kind of got the impression like, yeah, that's what it does. Because it's looking for pedestrians, and when you're driving through a cemetery and all these headstones are up, it's not made for that. It's made to be on the road, not driving through a cemetery. So when it's seeing these headstones, it's thinking it's kids or adults, short adults, but you know, it's seeing people, because it's not actually looking for people. It's looking for things that look like people. So yes, you're going to have it. And the headstones, yes. Yeah. So like you're driving around and like there's a headstone on the side, and as you're driving, it thinks it's like a kid standing on the side of the road. Yeah.
How that would happen.
I mean, the first time I saw it, I was like, all right, well, you could actually see on the screen where the person was, and you could see through the windshield, and it's like, it's the stone. It's the stone there. I mean, but logic wasn't part of the TikTok trend. It was, let's be shock and awe and say, oh, look, you know, let's not point out the fact that it's a headstone. Let's say it's, you know, like, oh, it's the automotive version of Xbox Connect. Yeah. I agree, Redmond. Yeah. I mean, that's basically what it is. It's not designed. I don't think that was taken into account when they programmed that and said, oh, look, you know, you might drive through a cemetery.
To see something that is in your way, or that you should be aware of. So of course a cemetery is going to make it go crazy. Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's ghosts.
Yeah.
It means just, you know,
common sense.
Park by the gate and walk like everyone else does.
Yeah. Why would I do that?
Oh man, I love doing these shows. These are so fun. We get so many cool questions. Hi, Tara. Central Mass Paranormal Society. Hello.
Got a little bit more
for the Tesla ghost thing, what if you had a person standing outside of the car, but it's mapping out 2 to 3 individuals beside you who's just one singular person?
It doesn't matter unless you're driving the car. You don't want to hit that person. That's exactly what the map is for.
So I think what he's saying is that one person is standing there.
Yeah.
And it's bringing up like 3 figures.
But you're supposed to be driving the car. Just an alert.
I think.
Out the fucking window. Oh
my God. Donna dropped an F-bomb. I think that's the first time on the show.
I just.
Write that down.
Yeah, write that down.
Wow. Okay. I mean, so I understand what you're saying, and I think maybe we have to look at what's being done. You know, like what does the scene look like? Not necessarily from the windshield, but from wherever the sensor is. Because if the sensor's on the front bumper, then it's a different perspective than from the driver's seat. So we have to see what that looks like, and what does it see? Where is it placing these figures? Is there depth to the screen? So is it showing them right next to each other? Can you tell that they're supposed to be right next to each other? Or is it possible that it's picking up headstones on either side that are in like behind it? Maybe 10 feet, 20 feet, I don't know. And it's just projecting a smaller figure or something like that. These are things we have to look at. And then go back and forth. Just keep driving around a circle. And if you keep bringing up the same people, then it's probably the stones.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I understand your reasoning there, your line of questioning. Donna's advice saying just stay out of the fucking cemetery.
At night.
It's not at night though. It's during the day, and it doesn't matter. Night, day doesn't matter. It's not going by visible light. It's not looking at that. It's looking at. I think it's using lidar in order to scan the area in front of it, looking for objects, and it's just seeing something there. It's seeing an object.
Solid object. Don't hit it.
What if I see ghosts? Donna's advice: don't hit it. I mean, it's sound. I'll go with that. Don't hit it. Damn it, Bob. All right. Whew, that was fun. What else we got? You can tell Donna's tired when she's like, "There's another question." You signed up for the long haul.
That's all right. We only got 12 more minutes.
Oh, we got 5 more questions. Dawson Toller. I told you.
He said a two-parter.
Told you to leave him out.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding. Do you agree that because a REM pod, do you agree that because a REM pod and music box can be set off by physical living humans via touch motion, if a ghost were to exist, it's likely they'd be able to do as well? All right.
Wait, keep going here. Wait,
Oh.
there's more.
Follow up. Yes, I know it won't prove anything, but at minimum, a living being can make it go off. So it's at least possible a ghost can, if they are what we think they are. Okay, so can you go back to the first part? All right, so I'm going to break this into a few areas here. I'm going to address the first part of your question here because it's I forget exactly what it's called, and I'm not dumping on you, Dawson, but the way the question is formed here, I always have an issue with. When people say, do you agree that, when people say things like that, when they start off a question like that, whether it's that way or so what you're saying is, or so you're saying something like that, you immediately put the other person on defense because now I have to defend, like, no, I'm not saying that, instead of just having a conversation. So just a little advice. Next time I would just advise, like, leave that part out. Just ask the question without that part, because it usually puts people in defense and it kind of backs them into a corner. And unless they know what it's about, and I don't feel like I'm in a corner. I'm actually not in a corner. I'm in a little cubby hole. I like my cubby hole. It's fun. It's my cubby hole. So moving on, the REM pod and the music box can be set off by a physical human being via touch or motion. So yes, so the REM pod can go off because of you make the you ground the field, so you're conductive, therefore you can complete the circuit and you make the REM pod go off. With a music box, it is ultrasonic, so it's seeing a difference in tone. The tone is returning faster to the sensor than what it was calibrated for, so therefore it's setting off. So we're talking about something that's a physical human being, so me, you, everyone else in the chat room, hopefully. I don't know, there might be a ghost in the chat room, I don't know, but we have physical bodies that are conductive and also reflect sound and light. For an alleged ghost, we don't know if those properties apply. So there's a problem. That's the problem. We don't know if those properties apply to the ghost, because ghosts are, again, it goes back to what I said earlier. The rules change. They are intangible. Sometimes they're physical. Sometimes they can move objects. Sometimes they go through objects. Again, they pass through walls, but don't fall through the floor. You know, that carries the plot along. That's just helpful for the ghost. You know, because if you have, like, if you think about it, and we're going to go off on a tangent here, they can go through walls. They're intangible, so they can go through things. They don't fall through the floor. They can go upstairs and then go through a door that doesn't exist anymore. So like a wall. So does gravity affect them or not? Do they?
Well, they're floating, so obviously not.
Yeah, because sometimes they're floating. They're gravity doesn't affect them. Matter does not affect them, depending on your story. So therefore, the Earth is spinning. The Earth is orbiting the sun. Our solar system is moving through the universe at a certain speed. There would be no ghosts. If matter and gravity did not affect them, there would be no ghosts because they wouldn't be.
Solve the problem.
There you go.
You don't have any Tesla problems.
I don't have a mic.
Drop it.
There you go. I dropped my little hand exerciser. Does that count? It's good enough. So I see what you're saying here, but there is a difference because, well, one, we know we exist. Two, we don't know that a ghost exists, and they don't have the same physical properties. So that we know that we don't even know. We don't know what physical properties they have, so we cannot compare. So it is, it's not likely. We can't say it's likely because we don't know. And we know that there's other things, like with the REM pod, we know that two-way radios make them go off. We also know that they can go off at will, from like a distance or close up. We can make them chirp or go off for a long period. The ultrasonic ones, the music box, I don't know yet. I haven't been able to play with one because you only let me play with it for a minute. Blame you, Dawson. I got to get one of those so I can play with it. Or actually, the sensor. I'm just going to get the sensor. I'm not going to get the whole music box because that's way too much money. So I hope that answered your question. I know where you were going with that, but I don't think it's applicable to the situation because it's apples and oranges. It's two different things. So, but good question. Thank you for that. All right. Let's see. Opinions on patience worth, just because it's fun to talk about. Jade Kitten. Oh my goodness. I don't know what that is. Or who that is. Is that a person or is that a concept? Patience worth. Was allegedly a spirit contacted by Pearl Lenore Curran. It's interesting. Let's see who this is. Where's my glasses so I can read?
You might have to write this one down.
I might have to write it down. Donna's like looking at the clock going, you might have to write this down. Let's see. February 15th, 1883 to 1937. The symbolic relationship produces several novels, poetry, and prose, which Pearl claimed, delivered channeling through. I do remember this. Psychologists and skeptics have studied Curran's writings, are in agreement that patience was a fictitious creation. Wow, that's interesting. Psychologists and skeptics who have studied Curran's writings are in agreement that patience was a fictitious creation of Curran. That's interesting. I'm going to write this down on their homework. So I have two from last week that I have to get to, and then I'm going to write this down so I can just familiarize myself with it a little bit more. But I do remember reading about this, and I do remember reading about how after the writings were analyzed, that they were found to be consistent with what Pearl Curran had wrote before. So there was really no difference. And that's a red flag. That's a red flag because, if you're in the same writing style, I have different writing styles than most people. Everyone has different writing styles. Sometimes you can have bad writing. And I've read some really bad shit books, especially recently. But you can still see a writer's style. And after reading not only my own work, but other people's work, and then also reviewing other people's work, you get to recognize different styles. And you can pick out certain places where it's like, wait a minute, did you write this paragraph or did you like use AI or something like that? And you find out that AI was used or somebody else wrote it. You see a change in the style. But to analyze this, I mean, I'll look into it a little bit further because this might be a good topic to really get into. But number 3, I would say this is a lost cause because it looks like it was just her trying to capitalize off this idea, which is probably what it was. You know, it's more sensational to say, hey, this is not my work. I'm channeling the spirit of this other person who is a writer that is writing these works. And that sells because people will be like, oh, well, let's see what this says. Or if they already have that belief already established, they're going to want to, you know, like I would like to have a copy of this work for my collection just because it's like, well, a spirit allegedly wrote this.
Yeah.
And I would love to have it as like something for the museum,
Right.
where it's in there and it teaches a lesson like, this is what was said and this is what was found. So good question. Put it on the whiteboard. I like that. Put it on the whiteboard. We should have a sound effect. Put it on the whiteboard. You know, I say something like that, it makes me giggle a little bit, and then I get over it, and then I hear your giggle. It makes me laugh. And unfortunately, like I got a mouthful of tea. All right. How are we doing here? We're getting to the end. Kit Ford. What are your thoughts on sleep paralysis and old hag syndrome? I've experienced sleep paralysis since I was a kid, and while terrifying, I've never seen a damn thing. So, wow, you know, like that sucks if you've experienced it multiple times since you were a kid. I mean, that sucks. I'm sorry that you have to go through that. I'm sure it's terrifying. I haven't been through it. I've never been through it. Donna has.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, good. I was like, I don't know, should I say that?
Yeah,
and I mean, we've talked about it before. So, but I was there. I had. And this is the part that I feel bad about, but I was awake. I woke up because I heard her, like for lack of a better word, whimpering.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm trying to scream in my head.
Yes, to her, from her perspective,
I was screaming.
And again, like it's kind of hard to line it up because she's still asleep. So like it's hard to line up what we were experiencing at the same time because we don't know. But you were apparently trying to scream. I woke up because I heard, you know, this whimpering sound, and you know, it was like danger, Will Robinson, danger. And I woke up, like sprung awake, like what's going on? And she's still just laying there, eyes closed, making noises, and I'm watching it going, I know what's happening. And I was like, this is fascinating. Oh my God, this is awesome. Nobody ever gets to do this. I'm getting to do this. I'm watching it. I'm happy. It's live in front of me. Yes. But it's so bad. I feel so bad. But I was so excited. I'm crying. I was so excited. But yeah, when you finally woke up, you had this experience where you thought it was real.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was awake the whole time, so I was able to watch and like nothing happened. You didn't do anything. You were just laying there and just making noises until you finally woke up. And I mean, I think I did kind of
Wake me up.
Gently wake you up because I wasn't sure. I'm like, is this like sleepwalking? Are you supposed to wake him up or you're not? Like, is she going to punch me in the face?
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Wake me up.
So yeah, I did. And you had a really strange experience that to you felt really real. But seeing it from the other side, I can say nothing happened. And this happens to a lot of people. I have talked to a lot of people that do experience this on a regular basis, and it's something that does happen. Is it demonic or spiritual or paranormal? No. There's no evidence, and most of the people that go through it don't think it is. It's just something that happens. It's a dream that gets out of control. You are in that stage where you're starting to wake up. Your body is still paralyzed because the body has not woken up, but the mind is starting to wake up. But it's also in that dream state, and you're experiencing something. It's an overlay. It's basically an overlay. You have a video or a movie overlaying reality, and you can't do anything about it. You're stuck in your seat. So
the computer has to reboot.
Yeah. So I just got to turn you off and turn you back on. Be like, click. Wait 10 seconds. Click. Life is so simple, according to Donna. You just reboot it. Just reboot me. Oh, there we go. We're good to go. Oh man. But I think it is it's a, I don't know what to call it. A condition. It's a medical condition, psychological condition. I don't know. We had a guy on. There was a episode of Three Tortured Souls, which is another show that I do. We had a doctor that was on. I think it was a friend of Dave Schumacher's, I think, or Tim Vickers. It was one of their friends, not mine. I view it as my brain woke up before my body did. Yeah, basically that's what happens. But we had a doctor on that studies this, and it was an interesting show. I'm going to put that on my homework. Post 3TS show on sleep paralysis. So I will try to post that on my Facebook page so that you can see it if you want to check it out. Or I'll do it YouTube, because I see most of the comments through YouTube. I'll do a post through YouTube, and so that with the link so you can watch it and at least get some insight into what the doctor said. And but yeah, I don't think it's a supernatural or paranormal kind of thing. I think it's just a condition that some people go through. And I mean, is it weird that I want to go through it? Like, I've been on one side of it. I want to get on the other side.
I wish you would, so you'd understand.
I really want to. There's been one time that I remember in my life that I realized I was dreaming when I was in the dream. And I remember I was on a street. I was under the L. So it was basically like the opening scene of Ghost, where they're under the elevated train, for all you people that don't know what the L is. So I'm underneath on the street, and I was trying to fly. For some reason, I knew I could fly, and I would take a few steps. I would fly a few feet, and then had put my feet down. It's almost like when you're in the pool and you're like, you swim, you put your feet down. Yeah. Swim, put your feet down. I was doing that, and then I was like, wait a minute. I can fly. I can't fly, but I can. I must be dreaming. Boom. And I woke up. And I was so angry. Probably the most angry I've ever been. I'm like, no! I was so close. I was so close. I was going to do it. I was going to do the up, and away. All right. All right. We're down to the wire. What do we got?
Yeah, one more question.
One more question.
Really...
Redman, if ghosts can drain batteries, wouldn't ghosts love Tesla cars? I know, right? I know. Like, power plants should be haunted. Like the power station, where you get all the power. Those fenced-in areas with all the stuff that you saw in, like, the Spider-Man movie, where all the explosions take place. Like, they should be haunted, because that's, if they feed off of that, if they can do things based on how much they can draw out of devices or batteries, or
so ghost hunters are
in the wrong place. Yeah. Don't go to abandoned buildings that are out in the middle of nowhere with no power.
Duh.
What the hell? You
Why
know?
be in the dark?
Yeah.
Go
And
where
and do they
power is.
do they go out? Like, take this concept further. If ghosts feed on, I hate saying this, energy, drink, battery power, then we have to take that a step further and say, well, obviously that means they feed on electricity because that's the power that you're getting. Therefore, if you're in an abandoned house out in the middle of the woods with no power whatsoever, wouldn't they fade away?
I don't know.
It's like if you're out in the middle of the woods and we take food and water away from you, and you can't find anything, you know, 4-5 days later, you're like, you're you're dead. You know, you're done. So, I mean, we're talking these places go for years. I don't know. Maybe they hibernate like a bear. Maybe they're bear ghost. I don't know. I don't know. But
I think the ghost hunters are definitely hunting.
I think
places,
this idea of going further with the idea, the concept, thinking it through, goes back to what we started in the beginning when I went on the rant about the Estes method. You know, like, think these ideas through. Don't just put the idea out there with no consideration, no thought. And I'm not saying this about you guys or any of the questions you put up, but like, these ideas and concepts are put out there based on belief. They're not thought through. You don't go the extra step. You don't follow down the line and say, all right, if I'm going to hold this true, then we have to see what else would hold true based on that first truth. Like, and go down the line. Does it make sense? Does it hold true? Is the logic good? Is it clear? Is it sound? In most cases, no, it's not. So, I mean, shit. If we did that, we'd have less to talk about. I'd have less to do. But yeah, I mean, this is an idea to think about as you guys go off on your weekend and have fun and come back next week, go to work. And if you go out on a ghost hunt this weekend or to a haunted place or something, think about this. Think about this idea. Anything that comes up, the theories, and I use that term loosely because it's not right when it's being used, but the theories on ghosts that are brought forth to you or presented to you, think them through. Does the logic hold true? And I guarantee in most cases it will not. So with that, are we done? We good?
Yeah.
We're good. We're good. We're good. We can shut down. Donna's like, I want to go home.
You're over.
We're over. We're in hour 3, baby. So real quick, a couple announcements. Again, coming up July 19th to 21st is Western New York CFI, which is the Center for Inquiry. It's our first skeptic camp, which means that Friday night is pretty much when everyone gets in. We kind of hang out. We're going to go to a bar. There's stuff on the website. Let me see. Is there... I don't know. Unless I can get people to come back here. I would love to do that. Let me pull that up real quick. So basically, we're gonna go to, I think it's a local like pub or eatery kind of thing. We're gonna hang out for the night, and then Saturday, starting at I think 9:00, is lectures. So let me see what this is. I'm gonna do the copy and paste. Ooh, there's stuff going on here. What is that? Get off of there. Notifications. I don't need notifications. I know people hate me. All right. So let's see. 8:30 to 9 is check-in, and then opening remarks start at 9:00. But then we're gonna have a whole bunch of speakers. We have 7 speakers lined up. I'm going to be doing something. Susan Gerbic, Stephen Hupp, who is the editor of Skeptical Inquirer magazine. He's coming out early because we actually have a staff retreat that following week. Tim Redman, who is a teacher at high school. He does a class on critical thinking, which I've been able to speak to his students several times. We're going to have Dave Hahn, who is one of our advisory board members. We have Phil Stevens, who is a professor at UB, and Coleman Watts, who does a web series or YouTube series called Think This Through. Really good series. So we have a lot of good speakers, a lot of good content. If you're in the area, the Buffalo area, please come by. It's free. If you go on the website, did I put it out there? Yeah, I did. Go on the website and register. If you're not going to show up, register anyway. It looks good. But please come by because it's going to be a really good day. You're also going to get a tour of the facility if you're in the area. So there's that. And then let's see, August, I don't have anything. September 6th, 7th, and maybe 8th is the Pennsylvania Bigfoot camping weekend we're going to. Yeah, we are. I'm speaking at the event, and it's the first time I'm speaking at a Bigfoot conference. So we'll see if I get shot. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but that's in Western Pennsylvania at Benner's campground. Yeah. So if you're interested in that, and then the big one. Oh, wait, that was September. Yeah. October 24th to 27th is SciCon in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're going to be at what are we at? The Horseshoe, I think? The Horseshoe Casino, which first time we're going to be there, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to do a 2-hour workshop on Thursday morning. I'm the first. I open SciCon. That's right. I open it. I love it. Yeah. 2 hours workshop. We're going to go over strategies for solving mysteries. We're going to talk about videos, how to fake videos, how people fake videos, and how to research people, places, and things, and expose psychics and fakers and debunk shit all over the place. It's going to be so much fun. And then we're going to have a bunch of other speakers like Neil deGrasse Tyson, Brian Cox, and a lot of others. Daniel Reed's going to be there. Yeah. Daniel Reed. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it, but he got picked to do the Sunday papers. So he's going to be presenting the first time at SciCon, which is awesome. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. I know he's not watching. I know he had a family gathering. Is he? Oh shit. Woo, there he is. Oh shit. I was trying to talk nice about him without him hearing. But I'm so proud of him. He's done so well over the last year or so with writing and getting critical thinking and skepticism into mainstream and especially in his state. Awesome job. So I'm excited to hear what he has to say when he does his he literally gets his 15 minutes of fame. 15-minute long lectures. That's awesome. And a lot of other people. Melanie Teresa King will be out there and a lot of others. So that's all I have for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a good time. I hope you learned something. I hope I gave you something to think about. And maybe you have some things to think about and you want to talk to me. So feel free. If you have stuff, the address that's going along the bottom, this is my work address. I like getting mail. I really love getting mail because I don't usually get it. Except, I almost totally forgot. I did get a package. I did not notice it was coming. Someone sent me all 8 seasons of bullshit. So it came. There's no note in it, so I don't know who did this. But if you're listening, if you're watching, thank you. I can't tell you how much I appreciate this because I only had three of these, so now I have the whole set. And I'm going to watch the shit out of them because I love this series. I think it's a great series. So whoever did this, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I feel bad that I can't say thank you personally to you, but hopefully, maybe, I don't know if you just want to remain anonymous or what, but thank you. I so appreciate that. But if you want to send me a postcard or something like from where you are, I love that kind of stuff. I love seeing from where people are. And it's a really cool thing to show my boss and say, look, like I'm getting mail from like Norway or Sweden or, Australia, stuff like that. Like people watch the show, people enjoy it. They love what we're doing here. So it really helps, like you're like, yo, come on, give me a raise. No, I'm good. I love the interaction. But yeah, that's it. And I think that's it. Subscribe to Skeptical Inquirer magazine because it's awesome. Lots of information there. It also helps me stay employed and do what I do. So do that and continue to send me things. Mostly postcard, but you don't have to send me gifts or packages. I mean, I appreciate it, and I will definitely take them. And everyone gets excited. Like I brought this in, and the first thing I did was listen for ticking because I was like, I don't hear any ticking. Nothing. All right, we're good. But everyone comes in. Like it's a group event. It's not just like me in my office. It's everyone is excited to see what is in the box. So it's really cool. Thank you so much. All right. I'm talking too much.
Yeah.
Time to go. All right, everyone. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Never stop learning. And we will see you maybe next week. Next week, we're going to have a guest. Or you won't be here.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a guest.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a guest. I'm not going to tell you who yet. You'll have to see. I'm going to probably post it tomorrow. Schedule it tomorrow. But you're not going to. Tim Vickers, if you're in the house. I might need you next week.
Yeah,
I'm going to need help, but I'll reach out to him. But I love you guys. Thank you so much. And I'll see you next week.
Yeah, have a great weekend.
But yeah, have a great weekend. And I'm trying to find the right. Oh, there it is. I've got so many endings and stuff. I want to find the right one because I want to do some hey diddle diddle. Hey diddle diddle. Ready? Here we go.
Hey diddle diddle, here's a little riddle. Who's the best debunker? Is it Kenny Biddle? Oh, he's good, not just a little. Not at the bottom or even the middle. Strike a chord like a fiddle. Tasting the rainbow like a skittle. That's fragile and brittle. You can watch him take a problem and start to riddle the problem away. He does not play. He takes his job so seriously. He loves a challenge and won't turn you away. It's such a skeptic, he keeps those believers exposing the fake. It wouldn't take him long to find a needle in hay. Use a magnet and debit. Now take a drink of Kenny's specialty. Someone may say that's not for me. To each their own, will be. Man, Kenny's such a skeptic, drinking skeptical tea. Like and subscribe, everybody turn notifications on. And go watch his show and forget about this song. Mr. Wizard or Bill Nye the Science Guy. Can you remember? You like Kenny better, so head to the Skeptical Help Bar and meet the bartender. Pick up a drink and relax, cause nobody does this better. Not even close, not even a little. He's the one and only Kenny Biddle. At the Skeptical Bar, number one, you're welcome to ask questions. But remember, number two, I don't know everything, but we can learn together. Number three, we follow the Swayze rule. Yeah, be nice, don't get stuck or dumb, or we'll boot you out on your butt. Capital Q, for questions for me or my guests. Drink up, participate, and have fun. This ain't a test. Kenny Battle. Kenny Battle. Kenny Battle. Answering all the questions that are burning. Preaching to you that you should never stop learning. Never stop learning. Never stop learning. Kenny Beetle, answering all the questions that are burning. Preaching to you that you should never stop learning. Never stop learning. Never stop learning.
Oh, you're still here? The show's over. What are you doing? Go home. Go home. The show's over. What are you still doing here? Like, it ended like minutes ago, and you're still here? This is like the after party. What? 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 Go home. Love you guys. Bye-bye.